The godfather of the West Coast, now you know. With Dusty Vision on the side, we ride. Taking you back to where legends came alive. From ruthless roots to the studio scene. Classic tales that the world's never seen. Every Tuesday night we spark the heat. From 6 to 7, history on repeat. So sit back, tap in, and enjoy the vibe. If you love hip-hop, like and subscribe.
All right, folks, we are here. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to Constance in the Park. You're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and my main man, my right hand man, Dusty Vision. What's up with you, Doc?
Lonzo, what's good, my man?
Man, it's a beautiful day in the CPT and more. That's what I can say for sure.
Oh yeah, it's been I'm loving this weather. We got an hour more of sunlight. Summer's right around the corner, man. Oops, sorry. All right, my bad. Already messing up at the beginning. But yeah, man, looking forward to this show tonight, man. Let's jump right into it. Shout out to the chat, fam. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't already and kick up your feet. Tuned in to Not Without Alonzo, N.W.A. Stories with Alonzo. All right, 29 years ago yesterday, Lonzo, March 9th, 1997, a day that will live in infamy. We lost Biggie Smalls, man. We talked about this in the past, but I think it's important to keep, these stories up every year, talk, and in hopes that history doesn't repeat itself. Take yourself back, March 9th, 1997. You wake up and you read the newspaper, you look on the news, you listen to the radio, however you found out, but you found out that Biggie Smalls had his life taken from him. What were your first thoughts?
Well, you know what? Back then, I was invited to all the award shows. I barely seldom went. After a certain point in time, I realized a lot of those situations, it got too volatile, and I didn't like running. So I woke up that morning and saw Biggie had got killed, where it was at, and what had taken place. It was a shock, but it wasn't a shock. It was a shock because you didn't think that somebody of his caliber would fall victim to his own, I guess, antics, and it wasn't a shock because you realized that they were playing a game that I never wanted to play. There's certain things I just never got into, and it just seemed like some of the fears that I had came to fruition. Man, that's all. Certain things I didn't get involved in for certain reasons. And just made me glad I stayed my ass home that day.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Biggie song?
Going back to Cali. I've been dope as hell, but I never forget one day I was me and my family was going to Disneyland, and I was driving, and my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and kids in the car. And the first thing came out, some ducks dick suck. I'm like, oh shit. One of his songs, his first few lines. And I'm like, oh shit. I looked at everybody, folks' faces turned red. I was a little blue myself. And hey, it is what it is, folks. Welcome to the 90s.
Yep. Because it was still kind of shocking back then, right? Even in the 90s to hear things like that. Nowadays, every song, dick, suck, nigga, f. But back then it wasn't. It was common, but not as common as today, right?
Back then, I guess I was used to hearing it because I'm in that game. It was shocking for somebody who was not. Well, I was in mixed company, as they say, civilians and non-civilians, and for the civilians to hear that, it was very shocking. My mother-in-law tried to play it off, but shit. It was a very uncomfortable moment for her as well.
What did your father think of hip-hop, rap, whatever it was called back then?
My dad, he called it hippity hop, just like everybody else did. That hippity hop stuff, man. Come on, blah, blah, blah. My man, he had a stroke in the 80s. So he was around for Eve After Dark and some other, and maybe parts of Dudos. And then he stopped coming around as much because the guy, it was young for him. He didn't come to Dudos much at all. Eve After Dark, he was a regular, but he never came to Dudos. He might have passed by because my cousin worked there with me. But other than that, Doodles was a whole different vibe for him. He just he liked it. He always thought it was going to be a passing fad as well. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. Little did he know I was all in. So that was his vibe. He just didn't think it was going to last long, and like so many people did at that era, and just warned me against it.
I think I remember you mentioning Old Man Dookie was in the record business in the past. Is that correct?
Yeah, he owned Dutron Records.
Yeah. What was his thoughts on hip hop that you can remember? Did he ever share any of them with you?
He thought it might have been a passing fad too, but he thought it would be more of a limited genre like his comedy record was. And if you think, initially that was kind of the vibe we thought it was going to be, especially gangster rap. It was going to be a limited edition back at the store type situation. We never thought it was going to be front shelf like it is. So he always thought it could work. He just figured it was going to be like comedy records. It's going to be a special, a niche situation, and that's all it was going to be.
And that was probably the general consensus, because I remember my aunt telling me the same thing. This music's going to pass. It's going to come and go, comparing it to disco and things like that. So I remember people 20, 30 years old saying the same thing.
Yeah, disco didn't give us a whole lot to work with outside of a basic foundation. But just the example, I was one of the first genres that came and went so fast. Disco was just like bam, bam, bam. It came in, blew out like a candle, and here come hip hop, and it was no major people behind it, and that was the part that was kind of really the telltale that nobody was really into it. One, they wasn't singing. Two, there was no major hip hop artists at that time. Sugar Hill, anybody knew who they were. There wasn't no Temptations or Dramatics or Supreme was involved. Motown was involved in it. And there was no reason for anybody of a certain age group to even pay any attention. There was a cute song. They thought it was cute. But, they're not singing. James Brown didn't sing half the time. But, that was the vibe. They're not singing. They instruments. It just, some of the same things we say today about some of the stuff we hear from kids. They ain't gonna last no time. That's temporary. So it is what it is.
This Delight had an interesting comment that I would like to incorporate into this conversation. He said, disco had no substance, in my opinion. I remember that line being thrown around a lot about hip hop back in the day. Even to this day, I hear people who are slightly older than me or older than me, still say, how can you tell them all apart? And it all sounds the same. And it doesn't sound like all they're saying is bitch, nigga, hoe. And that's all they hear when they hear it once or twice in a song. But what do you say to people who used to say, or I don't know, did people used to say hip hop had no substance? Do you remember them saying that?
Yeah. Had no substance, no melody. The hook is okay. It's cute. It's funny. It was, they weren't used to it. It was brand new to everybody. There was nothing to compare it to. It sounded like some stuff that they would do, those little comedy records sometimes. They would rap, Here Come the Judge, and other little songs like that, but it didn't have any no love roots, no self-empowerment roots, no black movement roots. We respond to certain things. Gospel, black empowerment, love, and things of that nature. And hip hop didn't have that. It's just the folks hip and the hop up. Don't stop. Okay, what the hell is that? And that was the attitude of it. Disco, you had to like this. You had to appreciate disco. You had to appreciate disco. One thing disco gave us that hip hop didn't, and that was instrumentation. An appreciation for arrangements, horns, drums. A lot of the disco lyrics weren't all that impressive, but the instrumentation was a masterpiece. If you listen to some of the stuff that was done, said, "Don't, I want to get funky with you," Barry White, stuff that Donna Summers did, all the strings and the horns and the arrangements. If you were a music fan, a music fan. I'm a fan of music. I loved the various producers of the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And so when disco came around, it just gave those guys another platform. The singers, they didn't have a whole lot to do. Donna Summers, she got one song, I think, Bad Girls or whatever. Lyrics wasn't shit, but it was a description of something. A lot of your disco songs
talking about the bad girl. That was my shit.
A lot of your disco songs didn't have a lot of have a lot of vocals. They had a lot of chants, but the music was what drove the music. What drove the whole industry was the orchestration, the arrangements, the drums, all that, and how big it was. That's when disco records were the first records that were made into 12 inches strictly, and that was for a special reason, to enhance the musical composition and to enhance the sound and the depth of the sound. Because once you open up the grooves, you get a whole nother sound that you don't get on the album. And that's what made DJs play 12 a lot more than they did album cuts.
Okay. Do you know how disco got affiliated or attached per se to the rainbow community? And is that even true, or is it just I'm thinking that Dancing Queen song? But was there a correlation?
Man, New York discos. This is what I was told. In New York, the rainbow community loved disco, and it was just it just became synonymous. The energy, the freedom of disco music, and the freedom of being in a facility that catered to a certain clientele. You got Disco 54 in New York. A lot of rooms that became popular, and because the drugs, certain lifestyles, beat up all night long. Come on, man, all night long. That was the freedom that most people didn't experience. And it just kind of was magnetized towards a certain community at that time. It's just like certain artists. How does Beth Midler become so attractive to the rainbow community? Why her? Who else?
I mean, Judy Garland, I think, right?
Okay. She's been around ever since The Wizard of Oz. But for some reason, I don't know whether it was her doing musicals or a strong female voice, whatever the case may be, she came directly related to the rainbow community. So it's hard to explain, Doc. It really is. I've never been that deep into it. I know it was fun. It was a fun atmosphere. Disco was a fun atmosphere. After I first started DJing, it was a fun atmosphere, dude. It just is nothing like it, dude. Only thing I've heard that was close to a disco vibe might be house music. But disco, in my era, when I was playing disco, going to discotheques as they call them, man, it was just a fun vibe, dude. You didn't even ask back then. You didn't even ask women to dance. You just start dancing, or you walk up to them to see them dance and just join in. You had to be careful because guys would join in too. Hey, dude, not just right here. No. Okay. That was funny.
All right, I have a question for you, Lonzo, and then I got to hop off for like 2 minutes because I literally just got an emergency call right now. Okay. So I'm just going to hop off really quick here. But going back to your drive in the car with your family, I want to kind of elaborate on that. And I've asked this question before, but I'm going to ask it in a different way. And how ballsy and original, I guess, was it to call yourself an N with an attitude, a nigga with an attitude? How ballsy was that back in the early, the 80s? And also, is it how original as well as that? Can you elaborate on that, Lonzo, and take me off screen real quick? And I promise I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
All right. Now, Dusky asked me a very interesting question. how ballsy was it to call yourself an N with attitude? To call yourself an N at that time was a major level of confusion for a lot of people. Because again, in my era, my dad, who I rode with on a regular basis, he never used that word as a term of endearment. I had never heard it in my life. My old man didn't call somebody my N. They go my N over there. Nah. If it was the word was ever used in a sentence, it was used in the sentence to describe a black man in a negative light. That was the only way I've ever heard it. So when the team decided they wanted to become that, I couldn't understand it. I'm sorry. Again, I come from a different generation. I'm a baby boomer. I'm born in the 50s, 57 to be exact. So they were born in Gen X, if I'm mistaken. I think Gen X is 65. I'm whatever it is to 64, and 65 starts another generation. So what I was brought up on, they had no idea. So when you look up and you see them come in talking about certain things, it was real hard for me to understand it from my perspective, because I'd never heard it used in a term of endearment. And for them to use it was major shock value, but that's what it was set up for shock value, because like I said, Luke had captured the market in shock value with 2 Live Crew and the things they were talking about, and without wanting to be a copycat or to bite their style, they wanted something that was going to be just as attention getting and also represent something totally different. And that's where the whole game, Street Life, came into play.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned 2 Live Crew. I had a Jones to listen to some 2 Live Crew the other day. I don't know what brought it on, but I wanted to it was a song came in my head. 1 and 1, we're having some fun in the bedroom all day. So I wanted to hear that on streaming. I was like, all right, cool. Pulled it up. And no 2 Live Crew songs on the streaming apps. Like the whole Nasty As You Wanna Be album, which is their most popular album, is not one song is you're able to play on there. And then it got me to thinking that album had so many samples. They used samples from rock and roll artists. They used, Me So Horny had a sample in it. They used so many samples. Fast forward to 2026. Would that be the reason why they're not on streaming apps? Because if they don't get paid, ain't nobody getting paid? Or how does that whole thing work, to the best of your knowledge?
I know, based on what I was following the De La Soul situation, it took them years to get them samples cleared. It took them years, and they were not nowhere near as raunchy at that time as 2 Live Crew. So that could very possibly be the issue. It's one thing to do it, get paid for it. Do I want to reissue or allow that to be reissued with my music on it? And it takes, it might be a little bit different. I'm not really sure. I don't know if Luke can stop that. Maybe Luke can stop it. Maybe he did own the masters. Maybe he don't want it to be on a streaming platform. There's some artists that don't want this stuff out there. It could very possibly be just that. But that is an interesting. I've never looked for it, but I got it all. So I ain't mad. I know exactly where to find it at. Okay, I got a whole pile of it.
And anyone can listen on YouTube and things like that. But I just wanted to hear it in my car, and I was like, damn, I can't. Nope, no 2 Live Crew. They had all their obscure old stuff that before they were 2. Yeah, but none of the ones that were their biggest hits. So I thought that was very, very interesting. All right, Lonzo, I want to play something for you, something I came across since we are on this topic of hip hop. I want to get some grown ass men enlightenment. A content creator by the name of T. Murph went viral this week when he said this about hip hop. He said, "I've aged out of this rap on the radio." And I'm going to play this clip and let's get your thoughts on it. It's about a minute long. Hold on. All right.
I've aged out of commercial rap. It's just too much for me. How much more coochie we gonna pop and how many ops we gonna kill? We have murdered everybody at this point. Ain't nobody left. Y'all ain't got nothing else to rap about. All you making is serial killer music. And we supposed to be like, hey, the ops, I'm back doing trash. And I get it. Y'all gonna say, man, you right, I'm old. And you know how I got here? Not listening to op music. Back in the day, we had a diversity, a plethora of songs that we could listen to. I could dance in the club, or I could listen to Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. I could turn on Ice Cube, or I could listen to Jay-Z. Right now, all you got is murder, kill, stick 'em up, backdoor, pop some coochie, throw the yams. Is he gonna buy me a purse? I need a Louis bag. Wear my Chanel purse. Every day, it's just begging and murdering. And every now and then they throw in a rhyme about, I'm gonna abort this baby. Like, too much information. When can we just get back to having fun again? I understand rap is a young person thing, but it also, there has to be some level of consciousness and diversity in this.
No, that's a lot to break down, but what are your thoughts when you hear that?
He is absolutely correct, man. He's absolutely correct. This is what happens when people who don't understand the culture have the money to finance the culture. They think, keyword here is think, that's all you want to hear. They don't know nothing about us. Nothing. So they think because a few artists had some success saying certain things, that's what the whole generation wants to bring to the table. And that is where they always go wrong at. We were talking about this just yesterday, me and my partners. One of my buddies talking to, I forgot who I was talking to. He was talking about how gangster rap is killing itself. The whole concept, just like what he said, just exactly what he said, the whole concept is killing itself because even the kids who are into it realize, come on, man. This is all we gonna do? This is where we at right now. We don't have nothing else to talk about killing each other or sex. We have not grown any further than that. And even the kids who are of the age who know better are starting to realize they can do better. And that's where the disconnect comes with the record companies, because they don't have, most record companies, most non-melanated record companies don't have the foresight, the vision, or the wherewithal to make decisions other than what's already hot. They only make their decisions on what somebody else has done to be successful. They don't cultivate new artists that are innovative or have something to say. Because they're not in it. They're not in it for the long term. And for the long term, they're in it for the quick investment. They're in it for as short as they can, get as much as they can while they can. And next, your girl, the nasty red chick. You don't see her as much as you used
red.
to.
Nah.
You don't see her as much as you used to. You know, kids wake up. People get tired. She's disgusting. Well, as a grown man,
17 forever.
As a grown man, I knew she was disgusting when I first looked at it and saw her first few songs. But for kids who don't know no better, they thought she was hot. Rappers, all these rappers were doing all these antics to try and stay relevant. Basically, it's not about the music; it's about the antics. We've said this on the show hundreds of times in the past. It's not about the music. There's no sustainable music out here. These folks will not be playing Vegas in 25, 30 years. They will not be playing Vegas. Old school hip hop can play Vegas.
Could you see a 42-year-old sexy red on stage talking about pop that coochie bitch, sit on your face, come on? No, I can't see that either.
What happened? It ain't gonna happen. So their lack of vision limits their opportunities today and in the future. Their lack of vision limits their opportunities today and in the vision. Do you really want to bring sexy red to your school? Come on, man. Yeah, we'll have today for what you call that shit? Bring your mama to work is sexy red, okay? Or a career day. We bring a sexy red for career day. No, man, that ain't gonna happen. I mean, people have done it, didn't know what they was doing because all they know was the name, and that's how a lot of things get passed. People in positions who don't know what they're doing, they'll allow things to happen because the kids may make a decision based on popularity. All of a sudden, this girl gets to rapping about what she rapped around. The whole faculty turned red, and they start, oh shit, I'm finna get fired. I'm finna get fired. I'm finna get fired. And they don't know. They don't follow the trends. And that's why hip hop was able to survive the way it did, because all the label owners of that time were all the same kid. We were all the same age. Me and Russell, Luke, we're all around the same age. So we knew what to expect from our generation. We knew how to tune into that. It wasn't until later on, folks, in fact, most of the time, they didn't even try to get into the cultivating of artists. They just gave us distribution and controlled our money. All they did was gave us a wider platform, wider distribution, and put themselves between us and our money. Now, once you got the distribution and you've increased the market share, and you control the purse strings, you can make people do what you want to. You ain't got to create nothing, but you control everything. Create nothing, but control everything. Some of the biggest corporations in the world don't create a damn thing, but they got their hands in so much with stock and everything else. You can't make a decision without them saying it's okay. You don't make tacos or hamburgers. This corporation owns all y'all, and they control this part, this part. So if you're gonna be a smart ass, check this out. Cut this off right over here. Let him figure it out for some other way. So no, you don't have to create anything as long as you can control it. And that's how the narrative gets so mundane, because certain people only think you want certain things. It's like they just want you. Soda manufacturers only want they want it to taste good. Whether sugar, high fructose corn syrup don't make no difference, as long as we can get close to our original formula. But if you drink a Coca-Cola from the 60s and drink one from the day, it's two different beverages. Same thing with music. If you drink something from the 80s, drink something from the days, what the hell is that? This sounds good. This right here, same thing. But you have certain people certain organizations get involved in certain things, and they change the formula in an effort to increase the market share and also reduce production costs and make it more cost. Make it more. Bottom line is, it's all profit driven.
All about the money. If it ain't about the money. All right, Lonzo. We're about halfway through the show. Let's go ahead and reset. Tell everybody to hit that like button. If you have not already, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And something else that really helps out the channel is if you hype the channel. You can go to the options below the video, click the hype button, and this really, really helps us out. You can give a certain amount of points a hype, and you could do that up to 3 times a week. So please hype us. I'm trying out this thing here, and I want to see if it works, because I'm hearing a lot about the hype. So please do that if you are a true supporter, man. I know we got some OGs in here, so please hype this video. We really, really appreciate it. And also, 7:00 p.m., I am going to be on my channel right after this show, and I'm going to be playing a video of my old school vlog. I went to an old school hip hop concert, Digital Underground, MC Shy D, JJ Fad. It was a blast. The crowd loved it. It was awesome. Walked around Long Beach, had a really, really good time. And I want you guys to check this out. So I'll be posting the link in the description. So right when this show's over, you can join me on my channel. Lonzo, tell us about BandBuzz.
BandBuzz is for artists who want to sell music and not just stream it. Recently, I read an article. I was watching a video this morning about Russell. Russell is upset because he didn't make the Billboard's charts, because he sold 30,000 units, but he didn't make the Billboard charts. Well, you have to register with a certain organization to be recognized by the Billboard charts. One of the things that you have to be tied to somebody. One of the things we're doing at BandBuzz is we are linking our platform to chart reporting platforms. So as your music sells, you'll get accounted to to the Billboard charts so that you'll be able to track your sales and move up the charts. Charts are important when it comes to booking gigs, especially overseas, and people adding your product to different platforms. They want to see what's coming to the charts. It's not done yet, but BandBuzz will be the next platform on a platform reporting to the Billboard charts so that you can sell your music. If you want to sell your music, and here's the difference when streaming. There are streaming charts, but there's sales charts. Billboards are sales charts. You have to sell so many records, so many CDs, 12 inches, or CDs, albums, or even thumb drives now to qualify to be on the charts. Billboard is a world-renowned, recognized chart. If you're an artist and you're just not trying to stroke your ego, want to sell some music, you need BandBuzz. You sell your merchandise, do meet and greets. All this can be done digitally, whatever your merchandise is, and you get paid instantly. It's the best thing going since sliced bread, folks. BandBuzz. Download the app. It's right now. It's available on the iOS platform and the Google Play Store. Tell them Lonzo sent you.
Yeah. All right, Lonzo, let's continue deciphering this video of the clip we played just before this break of the guy who said that he's done with rap. One thing that stood out to me was he said, "You're making serial killer music." It's a pretty deep line right there, man. Talk to me about that.
You know, after a certain point in time, you're not making music, you're programming people. You're programming people. Music is the most subliminal art form known to man. You will hear music in elevators, in other people's cars, in grocery stores, and music. You'll hear it in walking down the street. You'll hear it everywhere. That's why it's it's on the backdrop of everything from a movie to the ice cream truck. Music is attached to everything. And when you get those subliminal messages and they get into your psyche, you'll be surprised some of the things that you'll find yourself singing and doing without even being conscious of it. And that's what music is. See, a movie, you watch it, you got to stop what you're doing to watch a movie. And you got to focus on it to really understand what the movie is all about. That's why you can watch a movie so many times and miss it. I watched it, damn, I never saw that before, because you wasn't paying attention at a particular point in time. Well, music it's voluntarily. It comes into the orifices that are closest to your brain, which is your ears. Straight to your ears, directly. That's like a direct USB port to your brain. And whatever comes in, it's a part of you. I'll never forget, and I say this all the time. I remember I couldn't stand that song, "I'm in Love with the Coco." I thought it was the dumbest song in the world, but because I heard it so many times, I found myself singing it with "I'm in love with the Coco." What the fuck am I singing this shit for?
Yep.
Why am I singing this shit?
I'm still singing jingles from 1984, bro. Go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal.
You could, and we used to, now we would actually we would take that "Go See Cal" jingle, and we would convert it for Eve After Dark. We would convert it to an Eve After Dark commercial, because it was like "Go See Cal" was Long Beach.
You talking about Firestone exit, Southgate.
That's "Go See Cal." We would go Eve After Harbor Freeway, El Segundo Ave, Avalon Boulevard. That's Eve After Dark. I mean, we would do that. Okay, we would take that. I think I got some of those commercials. I might have them still around there someplace. I'm looking at a bunch of reels right now. I'm gonna start going through this shit, see what we got. But we had it because music is so infectious. Meow 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 meow. Could you imagine?
1877 cars for kids.
KARRS, cars for kids. So when you have something like that, that can subliminally program you to do certain things, it desensitizes you to the acts. It makes you feel like you feel comfortable with it. So whether it's murder or a whorish lifestyle, it becomes desensitized. And it's just, hey, like you said, either murder or begging. The guys is killing, and the women are begging, and it affects a lifestyle. It affects the mindset of a generation. Everybody can't listen to it. This is why kids are not supposed to watch porn at a certain age. You got audio porn right now. They can't go to a Pornhub site and watch anything. They can listen to it on Spotify. They can watch it on YouTube. Can't legally go to a porn site, but you can listen to pornographic audio all day long. Well, nobody gonna trip. And here's the bad part, because just like I got this earbud in my ear right now, everything is personal. You don't know what your kid is listening to until they start to act out. You have no idea. They sit around with headphones on. They got earbuds in their ear. You don't know what they're listening to. You can't even monitor what they're listening to. And these are some of the issues that we deal with. And like I said before, the artists, they just want to build some recognition. Some artists are so in love or enamored with streams and followers, they'll say and do anything to increase those numbers. Forget the money. Forget the money. Just give me the streams and the followers. And give me something to brag about. And that, in a lot of cases, is what it is. They just want to be a part of an algorithm that's going to get them recognized some way, form, or fashion.
Yep. All right, let's play What If, Lonzo. It's a segment that we played a couple of times already. Just a hypothetical question. What if this happened in hip hop instead of the alternative? I recently did a video on my channel about Tupac and how Eazy-E wanted to sign Tupac and was very close to signing Tupac to Ruthless Records. What if, Lonzo, what if Tupac signed to Ruthless Records? Think about that for a second. How would hip hop have changed? I mean, the East Coast, West Coast thing and all that. Like, let's talk to me, man. What if Tupac signed to Ruthless Records?
If Tupac had signed to Ruthless Records, Tupac probably would own Ruthless Records at one point in time. That would be an interesting situation, man. That would be an interesting situation. Knowing Eazy and meeting Tupac, either they'd have been the best of friends or the worst of enemies. And are we talking pre or post Dre leaving? Because if he was there when Dre was there, it would have been phenomenal. Even if he'd have stayed around after Dre left, you still had Cole 187 doing production. And some other folks doing production at Ruthless. You still had that was over at Ruthless. I'm thinking about Johnny J. He was at Ruthless. But you still had other producers at Ruthless that was still good stuff. People that did Bone Thugs. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question, man. That's a good question. I don't think it would have been the same. I think Eazy would have destroyed him. He couldn't have been more gangster. So I was thinking he might. I don't know. It's a good one. But Tupac would have got along with JJ Fad. I think he would have done a song with JJ Fad. He wouldn't have had a problem with doing a song with Michelle A. He would not have had a problem doing a song with Michelle A, JJ Fad, or N.W.A, Hoes with Attitudes. I could see him jumping on the track with them. I could see him doing some bars. Yeah, it'd have been different. It definitely would have been different.
Want you guys to comment in the comment section. What if Eazy-E signed Tupac to Ruthless Records? How would things have changed? I would love to hear your hypothetical story, so post in the comment section. Art Chavez wants to know, Lonzo, do you know much about Arabian Prince's label Repair Records?
Oh, it's not Repair, it's Rushpar.
Oh, Rushpar, okay.
Rapture, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, Rapture, okay.
Records. Yeah, I do. Rapture Records, it wasn't actually Arabian Prince's label. It was actually Russ Parr's label. That's what it stands for, Russ Parr. It was Russ Parr, the DJ who was Bobby Jimmy. Bobby Jimmy was a radio character on KD in the morning, and he was hilarious. And we were all at Makola at the same time. And Arabian Prince did a couple of tracks for him, And I tease him right to this day. He became a critter along with General Jeff and another brother. I forgot his name right now. They were Bobby, Jimmy, and the Critters. But Arabian was the music man. So later on, because Russ didn't take the label that serious, Arabian started doing. He would put Arabian in the studio and put him on his label, and that's how people assume that Rapture was Arabian's label, but was actually a collaboration with him and Russ Parr. And like I said, Russ Parr, I talked to Russ not long ago, and he didn't realize how popular some of his records were. Roaches, We Like Ugly Women. What else he had? Roaches, We Like Ugly Women. Big Butt or something like that. So, I think he had Big Butt, and I can't think of his song titles right now. But yeah, Russ had a nice little run. He was the real Al Yankovic of hip hop, original real Al Yankovic. He would take Russ songs like Rumors by Timex Social Club, and to look at all these roaches around me every day. I need some raid to get away. And then General Jeff came in and was rapping as a roach. And boy, when me and him got into it, I tore his ass up using that. I said, "You nothing but a roach." Anyway, it was that was what it was. And that's how Arabian came out with all his product. Arabian had was it Annihilator or something like that? Annihilator. He had a few songs on Rapture Records. But yeah. Again, all distributed to Macola.
You know you can't skip over that General Jeff story, Lonzo. What happened with General Jeff, man?
Man, he was one of the few cats from L.A. that, for whatever reason, he didn't like me. And he never cared for, here's the funny part. I can't say he never cared for me. Just at some point in time, he decided he was going to make me his beef for the moment. And I don't beef for nobody per se, but when I do, I go low. I make 50 cents. Look, I get 50 cents some lessons on going low. And me and Jeff was on Facebook one time talking about rest his soul. I'm gonna give you that first of all. Rest his soul. Who told Lonzo he was a godfather of West Coast hip hop? Blah blah blah. But somebody please tell Lonzo. And people like, dude, who are you talking? What are you talking about? And then I stayed out of it for a while, and then it started getting irritating. And like a rock in my shoe, I took off my shoe and cleaned out my shoe by calling him a hip hop side piece. I talked about him real bad. I said, "Man, you've been in the game all this time. You never had a single, never had an album. All you ever did was be a roach on the Bobby, Jimmy, and the Critter album. You went from being a critter to being a side piece on a Green Eye side piece with Radio and Joe Cooley." I said, think about it, bro. You've always been a side piece. Oh, he was mad. He was mad. You say hip hop side piece, looking for somebody to put you on the cover. And here's the bad part. I like the dude. I was telling this story just the other day. I said when I got tickets to go to Straight Outta Compton, Cube sent me 2, Dre sent me 1. Cube sent me 2, Dre sent me 1. I had 3 tickets. I had one. My other partner was going to roll with me. He was rolling with me. We got to the premiere. Who didn't have a ticket? It was General Jeff. Come on, man, take my other ticket. I didn't trip on that. And we got pictures of me, Greg, back, one at Cole 187, and a few other folks. We all outside at the theater, straight chilling. Few months later, I was the worst dude in hip hop. I'm like, dude, me? Anyway. Like I said, when I go low, I go low. So I stopped that real fast.
Speaking of going low, you mentioned it, but have you been paying attention to the 50 Cent and T.I. beef?
You know what? I can't really support 2 millionaire beefing, man. That to me, that's publicity stunts to me. And when people start talking about people's mamas, dead mamas, I'm out. I'm out. You put a man's mama on a t-shirt? Dead mama on a t-shirt? Come on, man. And true enough, baby girl, she is not as attractive as she used to be in my book, but a lot of that was because I think she had some enhancements that was over enhanced. And I've seen people before 50 Cent make comments that was hilarious. They were hilarious. 50 Cent ain't the first one, okay? He's good at it, and he is a master of beefing. But I don't think, and here's the crazy part, I don't think T.I.'s scared of him, and that's another thing. I don't think T.I.'s scared of him. He don't look like he is, and he got the money to back himself up. So, man, again, this is something that's only in hip hop. Only in hip hop do you see two millionaires beefing over some bullshit. You ain't never seen no white artists on TV pitching a bitch about something that wasn't politically involved, politically backed. That's the only time you see them beef going back and forth with some money involved or politics. This is just personal shit, man. This is personal shit that the folks is going after, and you just wonder why it's not. You wonder why the game don't progress. These are the seniors in the game, and the kids are just following their lead. That's the lead that the kids have to follow. Because hip hop, hip hop is a beef based. It's beef based when it should be beat based, but it's more beat based than anything. Yeah, F based when it should be BEAT based. And again, Doc, only we do that. But again, somebody with a bunch of money thinking that's all we want to see, and they'll fund it. They'll fund it. They'll put commercials in it, make it blow up because they think that's how to get our attention. And in some cases, it is.
Yeah. Stem says, could you imagine Mick Jagger and Paul McCartney beefing?
No. The Rolling Stones don't even ride in the same bus together, but you wouldn't know unless you was a serious fan of the Rolling Stones. They don't really care for each other. They tour together. They go get their money together. They go their separate ways. A lot of artists are like that. A lot of artists don't. Hey man, I've been messing with you for 40 years. I don't like you. I love you, but I don't like you. You didn't went a different direction. I'm going this direction. And I'm gonna ride my bus. I'm doing something different now. I don't need all the girls. I don't need all the alcohol and the drugs. I'm gonna ride in my bus, with clean bus. I can't do that no more. But we gonna go on stage, and for these 2 or 3 hours, get this money and go by our separate lives. We're not gonna put it in. We don't put it in social media. We don't put it in the news. It don't make no headlines. We just gonna do our thing. We're gonna show up on stage, do our thing, and get our money. That's how most artists roll. Most mature artists roll. But nah, we can't do that. Folks got to have different buses. I mean, they got to have different dressing rooms, security guards, and folks get shot and killed. I was listening to Teddy Riley's book a couple of weeks ago, talking about how when they played with New Edition, folks was bringing equipment on the stage while they still performing, and then shit got serious. Somebody ended up dead. Somebody ended up dead behind some equipment and a misunderstanding.
Man.
I know it happens, but it happens more in our stuff. And I hate talking about our stuff in a negative light, but if somebody don't show the reality, it's gonna keep on happening, man. Somebody got looked out and said, that ain't right. That's some bullshit. A man died behind some stage shit. My partner said something today. When you look at a certain generation, they wonder why people say why the younger generation is so disrespectful. It's not that. It's one thing to be disrespectful, but it's another thing not to be respected. It's a difference. Respect has to be earned, and a lot of times, folks don't earn it. And you wonder why people treat you with disrespect. In the form of disrespect, they can't respect you. You don't put yourself in a respectable position. You got to put.
I think a lot of kids, yeah.
Got to put yourself in a respectable position to be respected or to even be disrespected. It's real talk.
Yeah. And a lot of these kids nowadays, I noticed a different shift than when we were coming up. But you mentioned you earn respect. A lot of these kids nowadays, when I say kids, I'm even talking people in their 20s. They think they deserve respect off top. And they don't realize that that's not how it goes. You should respect me because I'm whatever, a woman, black, whatever. Respect me. Just respect me because I'm a human. No, gotta earn respect, dog. And that was something we knew as a kid, but now I don't think these kids don't understand that.
I think respect is like a graph. 0, +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Everybody's right here at 0. Your actions, comments, or thoughts, I guess for lack of a better word, will determine if you go up or down in the respect column. Your action, everybody's right here until you say or do something to make you go here or go down. I thought this, oh shit! I thought you give them right there, and only you can determine if you're gonna go up in value or down in value, and that's the part that people don't understand. Everybody has a level of human respect, but do I have to respect your opinion? You said some dumb shit. I got to respect that. If you saying dumb shit, and I know the thing you saying dumb shit. Oh, what's that old saying? I thought you were the fool until you spoke, and you convinced me.
Now I know you are.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the kind of shit that folks are. Folks are experiencing. We're talking about churches. How churches right now are. The attendance is down. The attendance is down everywhere. Well, your pastor goes to the Diddy party, and Diddy got 50 gallons of baby oil and all kinds of shit going on. Why is your pastor there? Is he blessing the baby oil? Is he blessing the baby oil? And that's one of the problems we have in today's society. That Diddy money attract everybody. That money attract everybody. He's looking for a donation. He's looking for a new something because that church is driven by money, and which is a turnoff for a lot of people. When the church is driven by money, it's a turnoff to a lot of people, man. Yeah, we need a new roof for the church. We need this, we need that. But do you need to lock people in the room and demand you need another 40 because you want trying to get $4 million or $40,000 out of these folks, whatever it was. I know it had a 4 in it. Lock the doors. That's kidnap, man. And a robbery to a certain degree. The social media exposes these type of things, and then you got the kids of this generation like, huh? Better whoop that fool's ass. Or you got another pastor that just got busted for stealing a bunch of money from an old lady out of her house. You got pastors that setting up themselves getting robbed. They got more jewelry than the hip hop artists do. Come on, man, it's hard to follow that kind of stuff, dude. You got kids these kids are born with iPads in their hands every day. So they see shit but we didn't see. They see shit today we didn't see until we was grown. Just in scrolling, pastor gets arrested for fraud. Pastor gets arrested at the Diddy party. Pastor catches fire for baby oil. I mean, whatever the case may be. Have you been swallowed? Have you ever been swallowed? That was your boy. He was with the church talking that swallow shit. What the fuck you talking about, man? So when you have a generation who's a lot sharper than we were, they came out on second base when it comes to a lot of this technology. It came to Earth on second base. So they see things that we don't see all the time. And they make decisions. I don't want to do that. But you can't make a kid wash dishes. How you gonna make him go to church? You can't make him wash dishes half the time without catching the case. The world has gotten so sensitive. You can't watch kids. You can't make them do nothing almost without you being in violation of somebody's feelings or sensitivity or whatever the case may be. So how you gonna make them go to church and listen to somebody who may be doing something that he ain't been just doing? Nah, man, I'm good.
Yeah. All right, we got 5 minutes, Lonzo. I want to hit him with some grown-ass men enlightenment to end this story fresh. TMZ reports that according to docs filed in January, the IRS hit Quavo of the Migos with a federal tax lien for money they say he owed for 3 separate years. The IRS claims Quavo owes $915,000 for 2021, $887,000 for 2022, and $1.1 million for 2023, bringing his total to right around $2.9 million. We all know Quavo likes buying those chains. He likes buying those diamonds, big old cars. He was known for spending hundreds of thousands of dollars at strip clubs. Talk to these kids about money management, Lonzo, and what are your thoughts when you hear about Quavo in tax trouble?
Fuck them. Fuck them because they don't listen to history. They don't watch history. You didn't watch Red Fox.
Hammer told you this 35 goddamn years ago.
Hammer did it. Hammer did it. I ain't gonna say he did it the right way. He was taking care of people. He was providing jobs, and he was at the strip club trying to see how much money he can throw away to some broad that somebody else probably screwed in the first goddamn place. Fuck him. Fuck him. I don't have no pity for him, man. I can't empathize. I can't sympathize with stupidity on no level. You go to the strip club. If you're talking to a man who ran a strip club, okay? When you see people just throw away paychecks just on the illusion of possibly, hopefully, getting a lap dance, maybe if you really, really get lucky, you might get a little something in the parking lot or at a later time. Meanwhile, you're competing with 5-10 other guys for the same thing. And when I've heard, and you hear stories about ball players, rappers going to certain clubs with briefcases of money just to flash and throw it at some broad. Come on, man. I ain't got no. It's not tax deductible, sir. It's not tax deductible. I ain't got. Fuck them. I ain't got. That's why I can't get no sponsors.
She said, fuck everybody at one point. I think we got Quavo. Okay, cool. He's on the list.
That's why my channel don't grow that fast because I cannot. You see people make the same mistakes over and over and over, decade after decade. Red Fox, IRS tore him up. Who was that? Was it Sammy Davis Jr.? They got him. Wesley Snipes, they got him. Lauryn Hill, she went down for 2 or 3 years behind taxes. My boy Kool Mo D, they had his car on the cover of Jet magazine on the flatbed behind taxes. That was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in hip hop, man. Mo D had this little 190 Benz on the flatbed on Jet magazine. Jet. That's when Jet was still a hot-ass magazine. And this has been going on for decades. And you would think that somebody would pull these cats' coattails, man, get you a lawyer, get you an attorney, get you an accountant, and you can't spend this much money. Get these folks their money first. Then you go blow the rest. Then I tell you what, if you gave them their money first, you wouldn't blow as much money as you did. You'd have a whole lot less. But that ain't what you do. You go out and spend money first, and then you wonder why you in tax trouble now. And I ain't do that. I've been in tax trouble before. I've been there before. It wasn't nowhere near that. That's 10, 15,000. That's a headache and a half for 10, 15,000. Okay? They're not giving you what you call that shit, offering demand for the 2.9. It ain't gonna happen, Doc. They gave me offering demand, okay? On 15,000, I had to give them 6. All right, I take that. Your offering demand gonna be high. You're gonna need $1 million plus just to even talk about it. And do you have it? And here's the next part. Where is he at right now? Can he financially handle that? When he was
Probably
hot,
not.
22, 23, 24, is he still that hot right now? If he pay him and keep his ass out of jail, how's it going to affect his lifestyle? Is he going to downsize? I don't know. We know child support is not tax deductible. Okay? Bentleys ain't tax deductible. You can buy a truck of a certain size and get money deducted, but hey, most cats don't tell you that. You got to have a good accountant to tell you certain things about your taxes. Good luck, bro. Good luck. I ain't got that for him. I'm sorry.
Good luck, Playboy. Good luck. All right, Lonzo, let's go ahead and wrap it up, man. That hour flew by. Please, everybody, hit that like button if you have not already. We have 31 people in the building, and I want all 31 of you to come and join me on my channel right now. I'm about to post the link in the description. I have a hip-hop, old-school hip-hop blog, MC Shy D, JJ Fad, Digital Underground. It was an amazing show. Come and really relive the experience with me on my channel as soon as we end here. And once again, if you enjoyed what you heard, hit that subscribe button. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Hit them with that outro, Lonzo.
For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer till he got cold on the eve after dark 50-yard line to Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me as a hater of rap. Don't believe the Hollywood bullshit because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Peace, y'all.
Welcome to N.W.A. story with Lonzo, the godfather of the West Coast. Now you know, with Dusty Vision on the side, we ride, taking you back to where legends came alive. From ruthless roots to the studio scene, classic tales that the world's never seen. Every Tuesday night we spark the heat, from 6 to 7, history on repeat. So sit back, tap in, and enjoy the vibe. If you love hip hop, like and subscribe.